Okay, we're going to go over these risers for the Sportster over here. They have them listed for Harley. Some Amazon specials. They're custom, or they say they're custom whatever. But they look fairly decent. Fit and finish are pretty good. But we have two separate problems on here. They actually do fit on the bars pretty good. You know, you don't know because you see some of them, you say 1-inch bars, and that some of them are, 22 millimeters, which is a 7/8 bar, basically, 25.4 millimeters. But they actually do fit the bars as far as the clamp flow goes. You don't know when you see some of them, because some of them they say they're 28 millimeters, and some of them say 24. They're all over the place as far as measurements go, but they do actually fit. But these didn't come with any bolts except for the clamp bolts. So this is a stock Harley bolt right here. These are 7/16 14 bolts by 3 inches long. That's just standard. They don't fit in these risers. No big deal there. Well, it was a big deal. Because when I looked, I went to Napa this morning, which they usually have a pretty good selection of bolts. Nope, don't have any. It's like shit. So I was just going to return these things this morning because I actually have two separate problems with these things. That's one of them. The other one, but back to the bolts. So, called AutoZone. No, they don't have them, but they can get them, and they're going to be like $14 for 5 or 6 bolts or something. I only need 2. I'm not buying 5 or 6 damn bolts for $15. That's just stupid. So, came home, did an internet search. The bolts that it needs are a 12 millimeter by 1.75 pitch by 80 millimeters long. So did an internet search for M12 by 1.75 by 80. Showed them online, except a couple of them, and looked and said Advance Auto. Well, there's one, 4 or 5 miles up the road. So I looked on their website just to see. You think usually when it comes to that shit, they ain't gonna have them. Lucked out though. Well, I think I lucked out. It said they had them on the computer. Said they had them in stock. So my son works. That's on his way home from work. So I told him to stop by there, give him the part number and all that. And you need 2 bolts. So that'll take care of that. Hopefully, if they have them. And they were $1.25, $1.30 a piece, something like that. Total came out with tax, came to like $2.75. So that's doable. If it was going to be $12 to buy a couple of bolts, I'd have just returned this shit and got the other ones that came with bolts. The other issue is when I put these up there to check them on the bars to make sure they fit, the thread engagement on these clamp bolts is pretty slack. As a general rule of thumb, bolt length, the thread engagement should be 2.5 times the diameter of the bolt. So, meaning this should be over 10 millimeters deep. More like 12, 13 millimeters deep engagement. What I've got is maybe 5 millimeters engagement. So that's the other thing. I did find some longer bolts. I think these measure, so they'll clamp down. Now, that's really a safety factor because these are only, you figure they're 5 millimeters. It's basically a 1/4 inch bolt. Riser bolts are usually like 5/16 bolts, but it's just something to look out for. Meaning that with this thread engagement, they might be okay, but then again, you might be going down the road and you really, slam into a corner or something and it pops one of these caps off and your bars go, boop. You know, set of drag bars probably ain't going to do that, but you know, you put apes or something in there. And two, if you put apes in here, there ain't no serrations in these inside of the bores on this riser. So more likely, especially with apes, you got so much leverage that, you know, emergency stop or whatever, and bars go forward, or you're riding down the run, bars start pulling back, you know, and then you find yourself trying to dimple inside the damn, taking a center punch and dimpling inside the bore there, or even running set screws in here, drilling, tapping, putting little set screws in there to be able to dig into the bars so they don't move. So just a couple of things to look out for. But I am going to use these. They do look fairly decent as far as the fit and finish go. Just says little things with the bolts. And these were overall length, they're like 2.8 inches. Center, bar center to end there is 2-inch from here to the center, the riser. So they're like a 2-inch riser. So when you get these, when you look them up, they're not real clear because they got so many different ones in there, and some of them will say that they're 28 millimeters. Some of them say they're 25, and some of them say, you know, 22. Of course, 22 is a 7/8 bar. 25 is basically a 1-inch bar. Well, that basically it is shy of 1 inch. 25.4 is actually 1 inch. So when they say 25, I'm guessing they mean 25.4. Get the right bolts, right riser bolts, M12 by 1.75 by 80 millimeters. For Harley anyway, that's what they are. And get yourself some longer bench bolts so you can really clamp down on these things, because I can guarantee you, if you go to really torque these things off and you ain't got the thread engagement, you're going to strip them the hell off. And these are a pretty fine thread anyway for what they are. It's a 1.0 pitch, and probably it should be like a 1.5 or even probably a 1.5 pitch would be better on these things. But what do you expect for $25 for a set of chrome risers? You know, not much. Still doable compared to the other ones I just looked up, which were, you know, I know the price was a lot nicer. Those things were just shy of $100. They were like $90 or whatever for a set of damn risers. Anyway, just look out for those couple of things. Safety thing, really. And it's not like it's a big deal. It is to me, actually. You know, the thread, the bolts, you know, not a huge deal. You know, sourced them locally for cheap. Had some bolts laying around here to fit in here. Some 1.0, 5 millimeter by 1.0 by, I think I used 40 millimeter bolts. Is what I came up with. Or, it wasn't 40. You guys have a great thing coming up here. July 4th weekend, long weekend. Everybody stay out of trouble. Don't get any DUIs. Watch out for idiots on the road. All that crap, you know, stuff your parents say to you. Be careful. Be careful with them firecrackers too, if you got any.